Blend in. Act like a neutered, brain-dead lunatic. Just be yourself.
Each a vital cog.
Greetings, new person.
Cog.
You have a look of query about you. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer. Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am realigned with the parrot. Head Refresher Gould says his recorded lectures are key to thinking approved thoughts. He tells us what to think and what thoughts are unsanctioned. That, a restorative cocktail of pharmaceuticals, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity device can abrade all imperfections. Why, it's right outside Head Refresher Gould's office. He'll schedule you an appointment. Only internally, I'm afraid. You should speak to Refreshment Facilitator Tilden in the lecture hall. Just follow the signs to the lecture hall. I once possessed a failing of character where I would voice simple statements in a way that sounded like a question. Drat! There, did it again. Anyhow, I was reported for it? It is the duty of all Protectorate subjects to regularly converse with us. I am newly full of zeal, free of imperfect thoughts. My mind is a thing of symmetry. My phrenometric... I only experience approved emotions. Refresh...
They never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged.
Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try. Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Are you in disguise? I don't recognize so-and-so as a title. This feels a bit curious to me. But I feel compelled not to question it too much. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it. Some say the Sovereign Sluggers are better, but the Efficients always used to rule in their favor. Anyhow, my daughter got me this ball to commemorate a big game. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet. Suppose so. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry. Though, Met controls are typically handled via a terminal. Probably one upstairs. I'll be...
Your siren's call of independent thought falls on a deaf line.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture. Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception. The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and anarchy. It is a sad fact that
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Rounding up for clarity / responding approvingly. Our refreshment facilitators will be pleased with your progress. Mindfully, I am responsible for providing each subject with their medicament dispensement. Has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage. The office in which this farewell
Multiple inaccuracies, lies, and outright fabrications were contained within this lecture. It would be best categorized as propaganda.
Find my next victim. I mean, a hostile.
subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Consul.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment.
Quick once over.
Enemies detected.
Emergency protocols ready.
Sharpen up. Hostile.
Could have sworn no one was due for hours. Wherever is your chart? Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a Protectorate subject, are you? I see it now. You possess the telltale look.
This individual is likely the lead scientist of this facility. He is unlikely to have been subjected to the same
Well, out with it. Who are you? What an entirely implausible... This presents a rare opportunity to hone my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plainly. No need for dissemblage, especially not in such a comically clumsy manner. I presume you're here on an errand for an opposing sect, yes? I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. Oh, listen to this one. If I win. Don't you worry your oddly shaped little noggin about that. I simply require diversion, something novel. I am confident I will convince you of the superiority of our ways and gain you as an ally. A capable one presumes, since you made your way here. And if not, what would those nincompoops in Auntie's Choice make of our methods? Or the walk there's a good sport. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden, gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs, though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Not word for word, no. I do take certain liberties with the Sovereign's Handbook, a beacon to the cosmos, to inhabit the spirit of the work and give it a dramatic, scientific air. I understand you meant that as an insult, but I refuse to be baited by those either jealous or ignorant of our ways. As it is right now, repelling faulty logic and wrong-headed thinking with gusto. No, the refreshment process isn't about thwarting examination, but obviating fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's about making people happy. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Did you have any final points you'd like to make? As a, last chance to distinguish yourself? That was the final point you wanted to make? All right, fair enough. In that little battle of wits, one of us proved severely outmatched, and I'm not sure you're I am deeply disappointed by your lack of intellectual prowess.
Enemy spotted.
I spy my next victim. I mean, a hostile combatant.
You've gained access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Emergency protocol.
intercept progress. Sustain the system, serve the Sovereign. The console provides, the system abides.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Further abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
Could have sworn no one was due for... Wait, you're not a patient. You're not even a Protectorate subject, are you?
This one's gray matter still appears to be functional.
Well, out with it. Who are you? Such a brazen display of derision of Protectorate ways. This presents a rare opportunity to hone my argument. To what end are you here? Tell me truly. Speak plain. Sounds like someone's had some indoctrination of their own. You've been tasked by one of our... I have a proposal for you. I'll provide you what you wish if you debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology in a reasonably competent manner. And if not, what would those nincompoops and antis... So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden, gladly taken to eat, though your... What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? I do appreciate your candor, that even an amoral outsider like yourself... In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. People are unproductively prone to unhappiness. We remove this self-sabotaging flaw so they can fully appreciate... No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. Well, admit I assumed this conversation would be more engaging. Her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us... All right, fit. I am...
Ready to assist.
Allocating explosion. That cover spot looks much better. Improving.
Better sleep with both eyes open.
Consider recalibrating your weapon's sighting mechanism. Let the paradigm worry about tomorrow.
Hostile.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varric, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varric. You'll have to forgive him right now.
As I said, we've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Preposterous. The Consul and all the Vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, who even thinks this stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the just go. Please, just leave us. Just leave. Go. Please, just leave us. Just leave.
Wait. I was led to believe my case required minimal treatment. But that last session, that was far more intensive.
Strong observation, Your Sublime Radiance. We set the lathe to the maximal abradement setting, per instructions.
Maximal? Who authorized you to use that setting? I demand the name of my betrayer!
Subject is exhibiting increased agitation upon exiting the lathe, consistent with extreme cases. Abradement recommended.
Who are you speaking to? Are you recording this? Enough of this farce! Release me at once!
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural tampering.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever... Hello! You find my pitch ball? commemorative pitch ball. I missed you. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost. Okay. Okay.
Medicament dispenser has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall to request an exception.
They never questioned. They never doubted. Their zeal never lagged.
This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Oh, and last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. After you, by all means. I fear I must insist.
All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
Enemy spotted.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume with Auntie's Choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a rousing sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The Big Rift cut off toss volumes from home.
Remember what we discussed and act equitably.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation.
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process. Really? Thought you had more drive.
I, for one, care little for the completion of stretch goals. You managed to avoid being mentally refreshed. That demonstrates considerable pluck and fortitude.
Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology. That will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results. Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They can barely even...
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable? But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. Too bad about the lead scientist. Converting him would have earned you an above-average payout. All right, for your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? Good. Good. If only more employees shared your dispassionate air, I'd spend less time burying workforce resources complaints. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. False modesty is my least favorite trait in a subordinate. Remember that. Always own your worth. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, I want to be 110% certain. Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting.
operational budget. Next fiscal semi-decade, credit where it's due. To me, as your chief executive, look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better.
Why, I don't know what you're referring to, I'm sure. Compared to how I treat my staff, I'm being a peach.
If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. No, it would not.
From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
I am amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
No one said anything about paying, but, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive.
Involving money in science seems questionable, but having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive, and I assure you that Auntie's choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous!
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's Choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's Choice and Order standards. Oh, partiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
As would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. I'd be remiss if I didn't note that Auntie's Choice also has scientists. Very good ones, in fact.
That's all true. Ain't anyone else taking the same risks that we do. There've been some problems, sure, but why else do you think our advancements are so quick?
I am certain your scientists are adequate, but compared to Order minds, it would be foolish to pretend they're...
My scientists don't perpetually dither with profitless theoretical impracticalities. They produce tangible, worthwhile results in short order, or else. A 50-50 split? But that's so... equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
It would be irresponsible of me to provide extremely dangerous chemicals without proper notification of what they will be used for. After all, we're partners now, aren't we?
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the Archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. Brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. Perhaps I have not been entirely forthright. This treatment will enact a permanent change in my personality. Irreversible. But it will not cost me anything I would lament losing.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Ah, well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. You sound just like Laureate Beckett. I weary of having this debate, especially as I can never seem to win it. Very well. Never mind about the chemicals. Now is not the time for risky experimentation at any rate.
Oh, bother. Here I wanted to see Ruth lobotomize herself. Oh, well. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the Archive to consider.
We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spireton from the enemy. Spireton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the Archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the Archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the Archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rude, and perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the Archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the Archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the Archive again, this discussion is all but moot. May you achieve—
That was some damn fine intermediation, Commander. You might just have a future in finance. You know, after Auntie and the Order trounce the Protectorate.
We've successfully co-opted yet another of our rivals. Can't believe those eggheads accepted the deal. What's next on my agenda?
That outside contractor is here. You requested a brief tete-a-tete.
Ah, there you are. Our fresh-faced new go-getter. We meet in the flesh at last. You've proved quite useful. Keep it up. You'll be going places. You don't seem much put off by my appearance. Good. I have no stomach for those with no stomach regarding me having no stomach. It is, however, something of a brand secret reserved for only the most trusted confidants. And covered in detail buried within the confidentiality clause you agreed to on arrival. I trust this presents no concerns for you, yes?
Well, ain't meaning no disrespect. It's just everyone was saying that you were focused on a product launch or avoiding assassination attempts. That's why you weren't seen in public.
Poor dear, believing that erroneous drivel. You do know I have a reputation to maintain. I can't let every rung leech know my condition and open the door for plotting. I ask again, do you have any problems with the previously mentioned stipulations? Fortunately, when you're the head of an advanced medical technology corporation, you become first in line for any experimental life-preserving procedures. As far as what happened, I was the victim of an unfortunate industrial accident shortly after we arrived here, the details of which are less salient than the details of what comes next.
Ah, such wit. But moving on, we have a mission for you so vital to Auntie's Choice's survival that it should have been undertaken days, or even years, before now.
We've uncovered an opportunity to procure me a new, audaciously improved replacement body. There was a past proposal to utilize grafts, but oh, once I saw what happened to those misfortunates in the experiment, like your hanger-on here, the idea was promptly abandoned.
Wait, are you saying that the grafting program was only started up to help you with your condition? And was shuttered because it couldn't?
Yes, keep up, dear. You think we would have invested money in such a risky procedure for gains on the battlefield? Well, that's what bombs are for.
That means your scientists lied to us, and our suffering didn't mean anything at all. Is that right? Me and mine were just lab sprats to you this whole time?
This is what you signed up for. Tell me, did you also believe that we came here to solely liberate Arcadia and not for its resources? Oh, you did. How sad. Indeed. Such misplaced optimism is both charming and irksome. No matter. Now, will you help acquire this new body for me, or won't you? The body I want isn't just some simple yet stylistically sutured together amalgamation of corpses to bolt my head atop.
Not, this time, at any rate.
No, to find me the perfect body, you'll be assailing an inappreciably populated automated automech factory over on Praetor. not just any automechanical, something much, much more exciting. That facility was designed to build complex automechs, a natural choice when the Protectorate began experimenting with a proxy body for the original Sovereign. It was the last in a long line of his ill-fated life extension experiments. Work halted when he died, and the torso prosthesis they developed has been locked in the lab ever since. Make it mine.
Bolster defenses to protect key assets. Some of the Order-derived direction can be downright oblique, but this is clear. Auntie is our most key asset.
Admit I'm finally beginning to come around to that computronic little plan. Perhaps there is something to having the Archive advise on market strategy and positioning.
Yes, I've begun to draw the same conclusion. Appears it can be a useful tool in the right hands. In any case, next steps. There's a sub-facility beneath the Automech factory. Its entrance, being hidden, is easy to miss. But we can show you how to find it.
Well then, fetch me my new body and we can finally begin bringing this system to heel.
I'm damn glad we could get Auntie's choice and the Order to make peace with one another. I was worried for a minute that Basar was gonna pass up a good deal. Reckon this news will give the Arcadians hope. Law knows they need it. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? Well, suppose that's all my suspicions of the Earth Directorate confirmed, for all to see. Just didn't think we'd find actual evidence of them cutting a deal with the Protectorate. I feel a little bad for Ibarra, though. He's taking it about as well as I expected. Whatever he hoped to find in the Matriarch's tomb, surely it weren't that. It stings less now that they didn't help Tau Ceti. Guess there's a big difference between thinking they didn't care and realizing that they're just as corrupt as anyone else. Fine by me.
Buy from me and live to tell your fellows about my story.
My boy had lost all his spark when he got back from mental refreshment. I thought he seemed to touch melancholy before, and this would help.
Buy from me, please?
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the
Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
There is no ridding yourself of me save through violence. And any according attempt would be a grave error. Hardly. I could handle myself against the locals quite easily. If by some miracle they managed to fell me, High Command would cease to overlook this settlement's existence. But I have no desire for unnecessary violence at this time. The Sovereign shall retake this settlement eventually, and meanwhile, it is useful for my aims.
Keep dreaming, bootlicker. You can preach honor all you like. It ain't gonna make me trust you any more than I already don't.
hope so. I am an Arbiter, one of the Protectorate's elite, entrusted with upholding Protectorate law above all else.
And executing anyone who deviates, no matter how slightly they may do so.
That is a gross misrepresentation. Everyone at this station has deviated more than slightly, yet I certainly haven't introduced them to my hammer.
Of course not. Some would go to mental refreshment. Most deviant thought can be corrected with the gentle reinforcement of Protectorate laws and a few select chemicals. I came to meet with the information broker for, Protectorate business, Protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an Arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.